Hey guys. Yes, I'm wearing the same outfit that I had on in my last video, and it is none of your business unless you watched it, because this is a part 2. So as a second little introduction, the first video I kind of mainly focused on college, but essentially I'm kind of addressing the topic of all of these different streams of income that people are getting into and whether college is really worth it. I didn't go too in depth, but I just kind of gave my opinion, you know what I'm saying, on me being a college student and also a business owner, about why I felt like college, may have been reasonable for some people, not necessarily why, I'm for one or the other. Like I said, I'm both. You know what I'm saying? I'm just the messenger. Don't shoot me. Don't shoot the messenger. But essentially, I'm kind of giving, I guess, a perspective for each side of the argument. I guess I'm giving a perspective for each side of the argument as to why college is and isn't worth it, or quote unquote why it's not a scam, or whether it is, or what have you. But in this video, all of my empowered minds, my millennials and Gen Zs and entrepreneurs and investors and Forex traders, this is for you. Probably the biggest reason why people say that college is a scam, why college isn't worth it, why you shouldn't go, why you should just own a business, or whether you should have a side hustle, whatever it may be, this is probably the reason why. And it's common knowledge. College is expensive It's expensive, y'all. Like, if you didn't know that, now you know. It costs thousands of dollars, and I don't know about y'all, but I don't got that kind of money. The average person don't got that kind of money. And so therefore, I see the perspective that people are coming from when you look at it on a really grand scheme and see how many people have student loan debt, how many people will be paying off student loans until they die. Like, y'all, it's really sad. People will be in debt for tens of thousands of dollars, you guys, and they can't get away from it. It's like, it's crazy. Now, given there's of course the ways that you can get around that, you know what I'm saying, there's scholarships and there's grants and federal aid and all of these different things, you know what I'm saying, but in the grand scheme of it, you guys, college is just gonna be expensive, especially if you want to go to a good school, quote unquote good. I guess, that's like subjective also. Like, I go to a small school on the cheaper side, but still great education, still fit in very well, still feel like it was very beneficial to me. However, I still got loans. And even then, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody, even if you go to a cheap school, a cheap university is still like thousands and thousands of dollars. I don't know about y'all, but I don't got that in my pocket. The average American doesn't have that in their pocket. So, nonetheless, when you hear somebody talking about college is a scam, you'll probably hear them talk about how you go to college and, it'll be something related to the price. You go to college, you pay all of this money, right? For one, most of us don't even know for sure what we want to do. We don't even know for sure what we want to major in. You go to college and you may or may not finish. Therefore, now you got loans and you ain't get your degree. Or say you even do finish. Again, however many loans you got, you probably not gonna be able to pay those off as soon as you graduate. And then even if you do graduate, also you got a degree, but y'all, a degree ain't nothing but just a degree is just a piece of paper. Like, it's a piece of paper, you can take it and you can rip it in half. Like, degree, that don't get you no money. What does get you the money is like having like the full package. So remember when you was applying to college and it was like, you need to have volunteer experience, you need to have be in organizations, you need to have work experience, plus a high GPA, plus a good recommendation letter, all of that stuff. Same for a job, kind of. I mean, essentially, there's more to it than just having a degree. The truest thing, y'all, true to this day, the truest thing that you will ever hear somebody say in terms of college advice, but just advice in general, is that it's about who you know, not what you know, okay? And the way that applies in this context is a lot of times you'll find yourself with that degree, but if you didn't network, if you didn't talk to people, if you didn't build connections, if you didn't, get an internship and mingle and find your way into an opportunity, you just gonna be a person sitting at home with a degree because you graduated, but that don't mean like you walk across the stage and they say, hey, we're finna start paying you. You don't have a job yet. It means you're qualified though, but all that means is that you have what it takes to get in the door. Now you have to do the work of getting in there. But to a lot of people, to pay all of this money, to have a degree, to not even be guaranteed a job, and then to spend so much of your time locked up in a dorm, locked up doing homework and all of that, and then afterwards, even if you do get a job, so much so, that can be 6 months plus after you graduate college and you already probably starting to get billed for your loans. You're still gonna be in debt for the rest of your life. That doesn't sound too pleasant, you know? I get it. I know people just be like, I'm good. Like, I'm good. This is why, like, you'll actually see, if you guys ever looked into it, there will be so many people like working like basic jobs, like working in stores and restaurants and all of these different things. And, you know, just like in positions, that don't require a degree, even though they have a degree. So there's people with a master's that are working at Walmart, and you're like, you know, when I first heard that, I thought that was like so blasphemous, because I'm like, but you went to college. Like, you went to college. What you mean? You supposed to be making money? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it don't work like that. So, also, need I even say this, but you guys all know that we live in a disproportionate America. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody really has fair opportunity. And with that being said, you know what I'm saying? Going to college will always have you, or not, let me not say going to college. Going to college and then going to work for somebody else will always have you at the hands of someone else's discretion, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So like, as opposed to being an entrepreneur, you know, your own boss. I mean, obviously you're your own boss, so you don't have to worry about anyone messing with your money, messing with your time or your well-being, but you, versus working for a company. In this capitalist country that we have, you guys, I hope that I don't get like, you know what I'm saying? Hope that they not watching me, the government not spying on me and plotting on me for, you know, saying this. But you're always going to be at someone else's discretion, you know what I mean? You're always going to be in the hands of someone else. And what that means is that you can't necessarily rely, you know what I'm saying, on whoever your boss is and whoever's paying you all the time. Because we just know that whatever it may be, I mean, shoot, look, we in a pandemic. Like, this is the perfect time, y'all. Like, I ain't never seen so many people becoming empowered about, you know, like making their own money and securing themselves, because we just simply cannot, y'all, we just simply cannot rely on other people to do it, okay? There's plenty of things that the pandemic, you know, Miss Rona done showed us, y'all, but this is definitely one of them. People getting laid off and not having jobs. It definitely shows you that it's important to not completely leave your career and your well-being, like your state of living, especially for families and things like that. Like, if I have a family, no matter what happened to the economy, I want to be good. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I think that that's sparking just so much conversation, you know what I'm saying, which is a great thing. I know y'all seen it, y'all. I got to throw this in there. Y'all, I have to throw this in there. Forex. I ain't gonna bash nobody. Can y'all please get out my DMs? Like, please. Can y'all just get out my DMs? That's all I want. LOL. But all jokes aside, y'all, I'm all for it. Like, you know, I am all for it. Like, business owners and traders and investors alike, like, please do that, because of what I just mentioned. Like, that's just simply knowing the fact that you have to secure yourself, because no one's gonna do it for you. Also, when it comes to school, you guys, let me tell you, we're talking about undergrad, at least in my head. I don't know if I said it. I don't know if you're thinking what I'm thinking, but I'm thinking about undergrad, which is your bachelor's degree. If you don't know what that is, that's just your first 4 years of college. Hello, depending on what field you go into, that's not the end. And let me tell you, grad school, child, can be way more expensive. Now, grad school, which is your, again, so after your first 4 years, grad school is your master's, PhD, beyond. That is oftentimes you can get like stipends for. You can get it paid for. A lot of times people will go to work for a company and they pay for their graduate degree for them. Now, with that being said, sis, you still gonna be in school, or bro, like, you still gonna be in school, bro, for like 10 years. Like, that's a long time, for real. Like, I'm in my 3rd year and I'm ready to be done. It's tough, for real. And so again, like, when you think about like what you like willing to risk, you know what I'm saying, for your career, like all of your 20s, you know what I'm saying, if you're trying to be a neurosurgeon, that might be it for you, you know what I mean? Like, LOL. But y'all, on another note, I just kind of want to address too, like, what it's actually like being, you know, like working for a company. I kind of hinted at it, you know what I'm saying, like someone else always being in control over you, but not just your well-being in terms of like your pay and like your, you know, how it sustains you, but and actually how you're treated also. So like there's so much that people go through in their fields, you know what I'm saying? It's like whether it be corporate America or whether you work like, you know, I don't know, in any other profession where you have a boss, like especially if it's a big corporation, you know what I'm saying? Just like I'm thinking of social issues and mistreatment, but also just like hard labor. Y'all, shout out to my millennials and my Gen Z people who is not trying to be slaving for 60 years just so they can get retirement benefits. And by that time, they done broke their back and they got carpal tunnel from working with their hands. And they tired and had all these different grandkids and all this woo-woo-woo. But they going around in a wheelchair and they can barely move because they done slaved for, you know what I'm saying, the majority of their life. We not trying to do that, bro. I know my generation, we want to have fun and we want to be healthy. We want to sustain ourselves and be financially stable without breaking our backs in a factory or for a company that doesn't give a crap about us for 60 years. Another point is that, I mean, on top of that too, like you got to even think about how once you get into your job, like after, say I done got my bachelor's and I done got my master's. I'm a psychology major, y'all, so I'm talking, but this is kind of the life that I have ahead of me. Call me a hypocrite, I don't care. I gotta get my bachelor's and then I'm gonna get my PhD. Once you get into your field, you guys, for a lot of people, you probably not even gonna be making like your end goal like of salary when you first enter your field, y'all. So it's like, it takes so long, y'all. It takes so long to climb the ladder and to actually be where you want to be. You got college, but you also got like another 5 to 10 years that you just need to build up experience to even make the amount of money that you went into the profession to make. By this time, y'all, you done been 35 and you already probably started your family and all of this woo woo woo. And it's just like, let's get up. Lastly, guys, kind of the last biggest point that I wanted to touch on is that a lot of times you'll find people when they talk about this conversation, they talk about building generational wealth, right? We all want that money. We all want to give our kids that big old house. We all want to get, you know, have something to leave behind, or at least I think people are starting to want to now. Which, again, this is tied to college, but essentially if you go to college and unless you're using your degree to start your own business, I'm assuming you're working for someone else. If you go to college, you know what I'm saying, you get your degree and you work for someone else, at the end of the day, like when you retire, you don't own anything but the money that you've made. And you can leave that to your children, but essentially that's only going to last so long. It doesn't appreciate, it doesn't grow. It's only there until it's gone, right? And this is given that you don't invest in properties. This is given that you don't, you know what I'm saying, be smart with your money. But if you just do this and you go to work and you make enough to pay the bills, that money is going to come to an end and your kids won't have any of that for themselves. Therefore, you know what I'm saying, a business, everything that's yours, you own it. You know what I'm saying? You own it. So once you're no longer here, you are in control of who owns it next. So it should be, you know, your kids, but whoever you trust, and that way you have something to leave behind. Essentially, your business is your legacy and whatever you invested in. Some people really out here playing the money game, man. Like, and so again, I'm just speaking from my experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, shoot, I'm trying to get to where y'all at. Like, y'all be out here playing the game, you know what I'm saying, trading up a storm, doing all of this different kind of stuff, investing. I still have so much to learn about that, you guys. And so yeah, y'all, this is just essentially what I've gleaned from the conversation. Once I get into it, once I get into it, you know what I'm saying, I promise you guys, I'm probably gonna be making videos on investing and, you know, man, all different type of stuff, like investing, my business, social media, and financing yourself. Investing in yourself and monetizing yourself. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah. And all of that good stuff. So that's all I got, folks. Show's over. Until my next video, you better be there. Thank you guys for watching and listening to me rant, and I hope that you guys subscribe because I see you watching this. Don't leave without clicking the subscribe button because we just talked about how much college costs. Thank you very much. Hope y'all have a good night.